I'm 52 and I have more energy now than I had in my mid-20s. It's all happened as something of a mistake. I was looking for information on the easy way. We're always looking for the easy way. I was looking for the easy way to lose a few pounds. When I got married 31 years ago, I was 10 and a half stones. I then went up to 13 stones. So it's taken me 30 years to put on 35 pounds. And I decided I wanted to lose it. Now, I'm lazy. I cannot commit to the gym. Anytime I start, it lasts a few weeks and then I fail. I can't commit to the Peloton because I get on it and it lasts for a couple of weeks and then I never get back on. So I decided whatever I do had to be about what I was putting in rather than what I was putting out. So I looked for the secret sauce to doing this. And not only did I find the secret, I'm living the secret, and it's had a whole load of unforeseen additional benefits. So give me a couple of minutes. Trust me, it's actually worth it. I saw a TV program about sugar and the effect of sugar on hunger. And this is why we're putting on weight. Now, everybody knows the only way to lose weight is to burn off more calories than you're taking in. We've known this since forever, and it sounds the most simple advice. Oh, just eat less and move more. Simple. But it's not. We all know that reality and modern life and the real world gets in the way. We feel hungry, we snack, we have processed food, we have takeaways, we have fast food, whatever. That's real life. That's the convenience food culture that we live in. And this is why we are in the most obese state that we have ever been as a society. So how do we fix it? This is the genius bit. The reason you want to snack during the day and the reason you want to eat during the day is because of what you have for breakfast. Now, I was always taught that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and we would always have a big hearty breakfast. Until very recently, I was having a bowl of oatmeal, of porridge with milk and honey and dried fruit. I loved the sweetness, and I was getting the sugar hit from the honey. I was getting the carb hit from the oatmeal. I was getting a bit of protein from the milk and some vitamin C from the fruit. So it felt like a really good start to the day. But what it was actually doing was giving me a sugar bomb. It was giving me an absolute blast of energy first thing in the morning, which is great. It feels like a great start to the day. Wow, right, I'm full of energy now. I've had a coffee, I've had my breakfast, and I feel like I'm going to take on the day. And then about an hour and a half later, oh God, I need to get something to eat. I've got that sort of shakiness, that low blood sugar. I need something. I need some carbs. I need some sugar. I need a donut. Yeah, a Danish, a little pastry. Oh, a little croissant. Oh, has someone got some pain au chocolat? Yeah, I'll have one of that. Yeah. And this is what we do. We go from one sugary, carby thing to the next thing, and that just fuels us. And what that's actually doing, I'm no nutrition expert, as you will discover. However, what I do know is that when we have these sugars, these refined sugars and these carbs, it's spiking the blood sugar. And then we have what's called your insulin response. Now, your insulin response is the pancreas creates insulin to bring your blood sugar down. It detects this massive influx of sugar into your system, and it needs to bring that down, so it creates insulin. So your blood sugar spikes, your insulin spikes. This does two things. This brings your blood sugar down, but it also, while you have this insulin spike, you're not using stored fat for energy, because the body doesn't need to use stored fat. Stored fat is the more difficult thing for the body to access. So it's going to use your stomach contents with the carbs and the sugar, because that's a more immediate source of glucose for using as energy. So the insulin spikes, and this works to bring the blood sugar down. It converts the sugar into energy, and then you can use that energy. Great. If you don't use that energy, it then gets stored as fat. This is the body's very clever way of saying, well, I'm not using it now, but I might need it later. I'll store it as fat. Unfortunately, we don't use that stored fat later because we just shove something else into our mouth and use that as energy. And the stored fat gets kept as stored fat. So what ends up happening is that we just go from one meal to the next, eating, and not using all the energy and then storing the fat. It makes perfect sense. So how to break this cycle is by reducing the sugar that we're taking in. And not just sugar, there are so many different types of sugar, and it's refined sugar. This is the thing that I've been learning is the different types of sugar. And everything that we eat, the vast majority of the sugar that we consume is refined sugar. And refined sugar is just the sugar. So it's just the pure energy with nothing else supporting it. There's no fiber, there's no micronutrients. It's not bulked out with water or with other things that's going to slow down the absorption. It's just going to go bang straight into your system and rocket that blood sugar level. So your insulin response is your pancreas, it's just going about its business, going, nothing to see here. Hey, whoa, we need some insulin, bang, bang. And it creates this response. Now, when you have such a boost of sugar, and the insulin response follows it, your body's overcompensating because it thinks that sugar is going to be going on for longer than it is, so it creates more insulin than it needs, and then you end up with a sugar deficit. And that's when, an hour and a half later, you feel shaky. You feel, low blood sugar. I need something. Because you've been on this roller coaster, you've been on this journey. What we need to do is level out that energy curve. Instead of going like that, where the blood sugar spikes, the insulin spikes, and then it goes into a crash, and then you have to compensate, so you're eating more. We need to say, let's try and get it into a consistent level. And the way to hack that process is to just eat less sugar. Now, I glibly say, just eat less sugar, as though it's just easy. Just eat less sugar. It's like saying to an alcoholic, just don't drink as much, or a smoker. Do you know what? If you didn't smoke, you wouldn't die of lung cancer. There you go, I've just saved your life. It's very easy to say the words. It's so difficult to put it into practice. It is so difficult. So what did I do to go from that position of eating loads of carbs and sugar to today where I eat hardly any? This is the secret sauce. The first thing I did was cut out snacks. Cut out snacks in between meals, and you're not having this sugar roller coaster. So that's the first thing. And that's fairly easy to do for me because I work alone in my office. So if I don't bring anything into the office, I don't bring any snacks in, there's nothing here for me to get tempted by. I appreciate it's very, very different if you're working in a shared space, when you're seeing and smelling other people's food, and it's very, that ready meal looks lovely. I think, it makes me feel really hungry, and you're getting the hunger pangs. Or somebody has a birthday and you're getting a tray of donuts, and they look so tempting. I appreciate this is modern life. This is what I was talking about. It gets so difficult to try to resist the temptations of modern life. I am not trying to diminish how difficult this is. I'm just saying this is how I did it, and I found it very easy in the long run. So I removed the temptation to snack. I then just started to have more protein for my breakfast. So instead of having my oatmeal, my porridge, and my sugary toppings, my dried fruit and my honey, I was having an omelette. Mushroom omelette, even with some bacon in. It's fatty, it's tasty, and it's enjoyable. And you're basically saying to yourself, where you would normally be tempted by the carbs, you're being tempted by something else that's fatty and tasty. Don't worry about that. Do not worry about the fat and the cholesterol at this stage. This is part of the process. Because when you're eating an omelette with pancetta, with mushrooms, with all sorts of cheese, whatever, something that's high fat, high taste, but low carb, you're not missing the carbs because you're going, this is delicious. This is incredible. Wow. You really enjoy that breakfast. So because you're enjoying that breakfast, you're not missing the thing that you're sacrificing, the carbs. And then for lunch, try to have a soup and a shake and something. Just again, bulk it out with things that are low carb. And again, no snacks, and drink lots of water, drink lots of green tea during the day. And then for dinner, this is where you get your treat. Have a dinner that's whatever you want. It's a pizza, pasta, curry, big plate, doesn't matter. Poppadoms, naan bread, rice, carbs, doesn't matter. That's where you can have your treat. That's where you can really fuel up for the next 24 hours. And when I have my dinner, well over 1,000 calories on my plate, I don't care, because I've not been snacking. I've not been eating calories during the day. So it can all be on that plate. Now, eventually, I've got to the stage where I can quite easily drop out the breakfast, drop out the lunch, and just have my one meal. I know that doesn't work for everybody. That's why I'm saying there's a way of doing it this is 3 meals a day, and it works just as well. When you have this new lifestyle, you don't want the sugar, you don't crave the sugar, because you've basically done a sleight of hand. You've distracted yourself over here so that you wouldn't see the carbs and the sugar over here. And then you realize, hang on a second, I used to have lots of carbs and sugar, and now I don't. It's just something that happens almost by itself. And again, the secret is distracting yourself with water, with tea, with things that are fruit flavored, but very, very low calorie and high bulk. Great for hydration, great for staving off hunger pangs, great for keeping the concentration going. But I said at the start, there were unforeseen consequences. The unforeseen consequences have not just been the gradual weight loss and feeling great, and the energy. Oh God, the energy. I wake up every morning going, right, I need to get started. I need to get started. I've started walking to work because I've got so much excess energy. I've worked in the same building for 20 years. And it's only since I started doing this that I've started walking to work. I now have energy I need to burn off. I feel like a 6-year-old that just keeps running around the room and going, yay, just with this excess energy that you need to burn off. This is what I feel at 52. Until you've experienced it, you cannot understand it. It's like having an energy drink, but without the crash, without the need to then keep fueling up with energy drinks. You're on the energy all the time. Then, the other bonus is sleep is insane. You get to 11 o'clock at night, 10:30 at night, and you just shut down. You know you need to go to sleep because you've got to the end of the day and you've shut down. You shut down, you go to sleep, you have the best sleep you have ever had. It's uninterrupted, it's deep, and you wake up feeling so refreshed. And you're then hitting the day again with full force the next day. And then again, you want to exercise, you want to do things on your feet, you want to have a meeting standing up because you've got the energy to burn. Energy, focus, concentration, sleep, skin. My skin's never been better. It's incredible. It's just, but these are the things, I didn't do it for these things. These are just byproducts of the process of quitting sugar. The whole picture can be brought down to that one thing of quitting sugar. And you don't even have to quit sugar. That one meal you have in the day, I'll have a yogurt, I'll have some fruit banana loaf, I'll have my carbs, I'll have whatever I want. It's not a healthy meal. Far from it. It's an enjoyable, hearty spaghetti bolognese with bread, and it's lovely. It's whatever you want it to be. I'm not talking about being on a health kick. I grew up in the 70s, and your sweets were a treat. My mum used to say, when I say, oh, Mum, I want a biscuit, get a piece of fruit. Go and have a piece of fruit. No, I don't want a piece of fruit. I want a biscuit. I want a Mars bar. No, you can have a piece of fruit. I don't want one of those. Why not? I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry for fruit. Well, if you're not hungry for fruit, you're not hungry for anything. And so that was the rule. You had a treat on a Friday after school, but it wasn't part of the daily routine. Today, it's part of the daily routine. It's part of your meal deal. Oh, I'm going to the supermarket. I'll get a meal deal. I'll get a sandwich and a Mars bar and a sugary drink. It's a meal deal. This is the modern life that we live in. It's not a meal deal. It's keeping you on that hamster wheel of making you want to eat more. Obviously, the lifestyle that I'm living now, the supermarkets and the nutrition experts don't want you to hear because they're the ones that are going to lose out of it. You're going to be buying less, consuming less, drinking water. You're going to be drinking the cheapest thing on the menu. It's not something that's going to sustain big business, which is another reason why I love it, because I'm not a slave to my supermarket anymore. Anyway, that's where I am. I don't have a course to sell you. I don't have a product. I wish this could be sold in a pill form. If what I have experienced in the last 3 months could be sold as a pill, I would be a billionaire by now, because it would be incredible. And it's even simpler than that. It's free. But because it's free, nobody's talking about it. Nobody's making any money out of it, so you don't hear about it. But this is better than the pill that will give you infinite energy, better skin, better sleep, better concentration, better focus, turn your biological clock back. Anyway, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you think I've got any of my science wrong, please let me know. I'm not a food scientist. I'm just somebody who's gone on this journey and has had an amazing experience and wanted to share it. So if I've got anything wrong, please tell me. So if you want to subscribe, and if you want to like the video, and join me for more next time. I'll see you soon. Take care.